Hello and welcome to episode 11 of How to Contract in Kerbal Space Program version 0.24. My name is Jim, and today, after our successful Ike mission, we're just going to simply look in the mission control building, take a look at some of these random contracts that are not the big missions like Explore Duna or Eve. So, plant a flag on the moon, we can do that. Science data from space around Ike, we would save for a Duna mission. Science data from around Minmus, we could do that. Test a Rokamax Mark V engine, landed at Kerbin, let's see the reward for that. 382. Not very much, but very easy to do. Plant flag on Duna, we would couple that with Explore Duna, but that would get an extra 212,000 science. It means we'd have to do this manned and not send a probe down. Science data from around Duna, 226,000, we'd have to do that as part of the Duna mission. Test a TR-18D stack separator orbiting Kerbin, and test a TR-2C stack separator orbiting Kerbin. We could bundle those two together very easily. Test a Kerbinine KR-2L advanced engine orbiting Duna. I think this is the very large engine. So this would have to be a separate mission just because the extra weight added to a regular mission would probably make it too cumbersome. I test a S3 KS25x4 engine cluster landed at Minmus. That's pretty tricky. That's also a very heavy engine part, but a good reward, so that's a possibility. The gravity on Minmus is so small that this is something we could do. And test a TR-XL stack separator orbiting Moon. So we could bundle that with plant a flag on Moon. Alright, let's get the easy ones out of the way and see what contracts they open up. So if we do the radial mount engine landed at Kerbin. Oops, I have to actually go over here and accept the contract. And then we'll also go ahead and right now accept the two orbiting missions. See that one? Whoa, 500,000. What? Nope, not Duna. Okay, but wow, 5 million for this? This would definitely be something to consider as a mission just to get that kind of funds. 248 science. So we may think about that one. But where's our orbiting? Yeah, there's our orbiting ones. We'll go ahead and accept those now. So we will quickly do these 3 missions, and then we'll see what we want to do next. Into the VAB, okay, for our little engine test. All we need is that. A fuel tank. Just do that one just to give us some room. And that engine is this right here, the Rokamax Mark 55 radial mount. 2 of them just for symmetry. Kerbin landed. Alright, let's go. Need to get some new crew just to give some new guys a chance to Edlu. Send this out to the launch pad. Alright, we don't even need throttles up. Let's cancel that. All we need to do is stage, I believe. Let's double check that. Do the staging sequence. Okay, 3, 2, 1, stage. Contract completed. Got 382 funds, 14 science just for doing that. Cover, get all our money back. So 3,000 funds that we spent back into the bank. And Edlu back. Alright, back in the VAB. Let's take a look at our next contracts. So we need to orbit a TR-18D stacked separator. Under structural. That's it. There we go. Okay, that's not very big. Make sure I got the right one. TR-18D. Yep, that's the one. And a TR-2C. Okay, there's the XL. 2C, that's the baby one. So we just have to get these in orbit, test them, and we are good. So we can actually get these off. Let's see, what are we up to on our numbering scheme here? We are up to 13, so this will be 14 orbital test. So what we can do is just put that on top, and this on top of that, and then some kind of load on top of that. It's like we don't even need that. Let's just get this little tiny RCS container. Alright, so we'll first blow that one, take that off. No, that won't work because this will disappear and then I won't have anything to take off with the lower one. So we'll double that up. Because these separate on both sides. So that's our contract. And then we need to get our Kerbonaut safely home, so a couple of parachutes here. Yep, had a little lag in my game that... There we go. Alright, we definitely need a decoupler here. Our final stage. There we go, our T45 engine. Stage below that. Let's decoupler first. Another T45 engine. Some radial decouplers, let's go with 4 times. And I'm gonna go with 1800 for those tall, 700 there. I don't think these have enough burn time though. I'm gonna use 4 of these, it's kind of ridiculous. But these are good, cheap ways of getting into orbit. Let's strut that up just a little bit. And 1 at the bottom. There we go, that should be stable enough. You definitely want to thrust limit this to, let's go with 30%. Even that's probably too strong with 4 of these pushing this little thing, so I think that will do. 28, yeah, I'll go with that. Should be more than enough to get this into orbit. Let's see. I think I'm forgetting. Oh yeah, definitely need some wings with these. How much are these? These are 600 each. 640. Yeah, let's go with these bigger ones. Get this lined up properly. Because there's very little control with these solid rocket boosters in this, and the torque in this one capsule is not enough. Alright, let's save that. 0014 orbital test. I forgot the number, let's just call it 5. Get our crew. Let's go with end top and launch. Alright, information up. SAS on, throttle will be full when we finally light this guy. 3, 2, 1, liftoff. I guess 28% isn't enough to lift this guy off. Alright, let's revert. Vehicle assembly. Change it to 50. Crew is still in top. Alright, SAS on. Throttle to full for the middle engine. 3, 2, 1, liftoff. There we go. Yeah, that's a good velocity with these. Let's double check staging. These pop off. This engine goes. That one pops off. That engine goes. Our tests, we want to test top one first. Zoom in here so I can see the highlight of the okay, that's our last stage. That goes up with parachute. Alright, so that's second and that one's first, yes. And a separate stage there for that and the parachutes. Alright, we have plenty of time since we're heading up. Up, kind of leaning a long way. Let's kind of fix that. Just so we don't have to fight that velocity getting into orbit. 10,000 meters, 250 meters per second. That's not too bad. A little faster than normal. Just lean it over just a bit. Use some of these rockets to get us some horizontal velocity. Hard to control even with these wings. Wants to do a little twist on me. Alright, we're almost ready to stage, then we'll have a lot more control. Lean that right on over. It's all about getting horizontal velocity now. I think we have well enough altitude, yep. We can use all of that for our circularization burn. Still can't say that right. Okay, 91,000 to 98,000, and the other one needs 84,000 to 92. So 91.5 will be a nice common altitude. Speed our way up to the apoapse. There we go, minute away. Lean into the horizon. We can go a little bit below the horizon. And just start burning away. Let's get that orbital velocity up to the 2300 we need, or at this height, probably about 2100. Alright, now that we've caught up to the apoapse, we can adjust to the horizon. We have more than enough altitude, so I'm not worried about losing altitude. In fact, we do need to go down to complete our contracts. $1,600, and we're almost starting to wrap around the other side, so we should be getting a periapse soon. Oop, that stage burned out. Staging again. So we should be getting a periapse very, very soon. Okay, there it is. And let's get this to 90,000, and that way when we're close to it, we'll have plenty of time to do our experiments. Just do this really slowly. There we go. So just before we get to it, we'll be at around 91,000. Keep this open so we'll see when we're meeting our contract requirements. And let's get into this view so we can watch this directly. Under 98,000 will do for the one, but which one is that? 18D was the big one, which is first. 2C was the small one. Well, let's get in the range of both of them, since there is an overlapping range. That way, I can't accidentally stage them out of order. So like I said, about 9100, 9150, or 9200. So let's go ahead and get to 9200. Alright, 9290, 300 is what we need, so 9222. Okay, so now we're meeting the requirements of all of them. I'll double check my stage, that is first, and then the other one. Okay, so staging 1. We have completed our contract, and staging 2. Completed the other contract. Okay, now we can go home. Get on retrograde. Let's go ahead and zoom around to the day side so our re-entry looks kind of... You can see what's going on. There we go. Just get retrograde. Check the map. Landing in the desert again, so go ahead and burn this. Actually, can we land it close to KSC and get... We'll do a test on that. Let's line it up with this island here and see what the atmospheric friction does for our actual landing point. Alright, I will see you guys on the ground. Speed up here just to get this out of the way. Be right back. Alright, I am back, and I'm going to try something because I do not trust landing in these mountains. So I'm going to keep my engine with me. And we are going to Okay, I think we're okay. This area is relatively flat. Hit the parachute. And I really do not like that slope. I really do not like the slope we're about to land on. This could be bad. Alright. Yep, that was bad. Landing on slopes is very, very bad. So we lost some reputation with a dead Kerbal. But we did complete our contracts. Let's find out what we got from those. And there's our disaster there. Let's go to the Space Center. So a very costly mission. We did get 83,112 science for the one, 102,112 science for the other, so I think we can unlock one more. Nothing that was particularly useful in this tree. More spaceplane parts, jet engines, and ion probe parts. Let's go ahead and just get spaceplane parts. And head on into the mission control. Let's pick some new contracts. Alright, see if anything else new came in. Science from Space Around Kerbin, we can always do that. Rescue. Turbojet engine. Altitude 15,000, speed 430 meters per second. That's something a little different. But planes are fairly difficult. Take a lot of specialty knowledge in building, so because this is a beginner tutorial series, I'm going to avoid those for now. Alright, so we have these big guys here. 365,000 and 248 science for an engine cluster landed at Minmus. A TRXL stack separator orbiting Moon. That's the large version of what we tested in orbit around Kerbin. 271,000. We know a Moon ship costs about 100,000 to send, so that would be profitable. Let's see. Should we go for the big guy? 5 million funds. We know we can get to Duna. This is a very heavy object, however. We basically would place it in place of our lander and put a probe on it. So, yeah, let's do this. That will yeah, next time we'll go to Duna properly for a regular mission, so this will be practice, and it'll give us plenty of funds. So this is the kind of thing you need to take advantage of to really set yourself in a good position to start flying anything you want to fly, instead of just following contracts. So let's go ahead and take a look at what this entails. Alright, so the piece we need to test is this guy. This is huge. 6.5 tons. So what we want to do is we want to load up our Duna mission, our Ike mission ship, and we want to find out how much our lander weighs. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave this here. Let's find out what this lander weighs. And the only way we can find that out is go to the launch pad. And then go to map view. And then check the information tab here. This ship weighs 10.61 tons. So we know we can get 10 tons into Duna orbit. So that's good to know. Alright, so let's revert that back into the VAB. So what we need to do is load that in again. We want to take our transfer craft. Oops. Alright, so what we want to do is make our transfer craft here a subassembly. the Duna lifter. Because we know it can get into the orbit of Duna with a 10-ton payload. And now we're going to make a new ship. 015. Duna orbit test 1. Alright, we're going to make this a probe. Right click to get this extra information here. I want to see what the torque is. Not very much torque, so we'll have to add some to that. Let's do that. Let's add some torque. Let's add a battery. Yeah, 1,000 charge, that'll be plenty. Let's add... Let's see, so let's add a fuel tank. We know we don't need one for the purposes of testing that engine, but it's good just to have something to attach other things to, so let's attach some solar panels, make sure we have power. And now we can add our experimental part. Which is huge. That's okay, like I said, as long as all this is below 10 tons, we know we can get it to Duna. So now we can bring out, let's see, we can... Just trying to think if there's anything else we need. No, not really. So we can bring out mass 0.4, so that hardly weighs anything really. So bring that out. Move this up so we can put our lifter underneath it. Sub-assemblies, Duna lifter. Put that there. Some more torque here, which is good. We don't need the docking port, so let's go ahead and do that. Attach this directly. And now what we need, we don't need these science bits, but I would take them anyway. We'll do that Duna orbit science mission, just because another one might appear. So let's add an antenna so we can send the science home. And I think that is it. Save that. Go out to the launch pad. Alright, we are here with our Duna lifter and our test payload. 91,000, 105,000 meters, that should be fine. I'm going to do this entire flight in speed up mode, because this is just a test. I'll talk more about planetary rendezvous and encounters when we go to Duna proper with the mission, so you guys can see all of that in more detail. But for this, I'm just going to go ahead and speed through this, and I will see you guys when we're at Duna. Throttles to half is about right. SAS on. 3, 2, 1, no liftoff. This may be more problematic than I thought. Let's look at this 6-ton ship. Be harder to lift off than the 10-ton lander we took. Oh, staging problem. We did not have all our engines firing. That sometimes happens when you use sub-assemblies. The staging gets messed up. So let's revert to vehicle assembly. Alright, let's fix this staging. Like I said, sometimes the sub-assembly thing will mess up the staging and struts as well. So yeah, plus I need to add some struts to this top stage anyway. So that's what happened, is my main sails are out of order. Bring them down. Okay, so then the boosters go away. And then the asparagus staging, which is using the fuel lines to drop an outer tank while feeding fuel inwards so that when this one drops, this still has a full tank. And then when this engine and this engine burning, this tank will drain. And then when you drop this, this will still be full. So you get extra delta V that way. So that tank, center tank. Yeah, center engine will still be burning here. Then we get to our nuclear engine to take us to Duna. And then we drop these tanks as those get used up. This is enough to bring us home, but we don't need to come home this time. And then finally, our upper stage. So we can stage that and then test the big engine, and that will meet our contract. Let's see, is it with staging? Yes, with staging. And then finally we come back and reap our rewards. Alright, one more time out to the launch pad. Alright, I forgot to add struts here, but I think this will be strong enough. Let's find out. Okay, this time, with the mainsails firing, half thrust should be more than enough. SAS on, 3, 2, 1, lift off. There we go, yep, more than enough, back to 1/3. And like I said, the rest of this should go just like a regular mission, so it's all speed up from here on out. See you when we're done. See you at Duna. Alright, I am back, and we are about to achieve the orbit we need. We need to drop down to below 105,800 meters. Periaps is 112, so that's too high, so we'll spin it around and drop this to the required altitude. Not too much difficulty getting here. I have lots of fuel left. Yeah, the first tanks still haven't even emptied out. Alright, here comes the altitude we need fairly quickly. In fact, as we're burning, this side is already dropping, so... as soon as it gets to about 100,000, then we'll go do our test and collect our reward. There we go, that's all we need. Alright, let's get to... we have met all the conditions. We're now at 3,312,592. Those other orbital missions got us a lot, plus the advance for this. Alright, so... we don't have to bother staging any of that stuff out. We'll just go ahead and drop this whole backstage. I should have left a docking clamp on the front, because I could... if I needed extra fuel, I could orbit... or rendezvous with this and grab the fuel from this these tanks. But I wasn't thinking quite that far ahead. Alright, so let's first drop this backstage. And now all we need to do is stage our engine. And we will get... just watch this climb. Stage. And stage. And stage. Wow, 8 million funds. 248 more science, so do we have enough? Yes, we have enough to unlock another. And we can leave all this in. Well, I can deorbit this part. Let's see how fast this big engine trains this little tank. Alright, stay still. Alright, let's fire it up. And just like that, it is gone. And we dropped our orbit. Just don't want to do that. I want this button. Yep, dropped almost vertically instantly. And that will stay in orbit. Alright, let's go home. Let's take a look in the Research and Development Center. Let's unlock one more tech node. Again, the ones on this level aren't all that useful for us, but like I said, I want to unlock all of these before moving on. Just to show that you don't have to cherry pick to complete the career mode. So let's go ahead and get the jet engine parts. And then let's head over to mission. Actually, let's grab some more Kerbals while we're here. Pepe, Lodrin, Sherwig, Dundard, Chatting, Shepri, Shanzi, Neilvan, and Bilray. Alright, you guys, you're part of the astronaut corps now. Let's take a look at our missions. Alright, so next time we are going to explore Duna. So we'll have to build a ship that can land and take off. We're going to attempt to do the full mission with this. The rewards aren't that great, but at the same time, let's accept it. Plant a flag on Duna. Yes, we'll be doing that anyway, so we'll accept that contract. This contract is actually better than the other one. Science data from around Duna. That's another 200,000. Test Rapier engine landed at Ike. What kind of reward do we get for that? 393,000. We'll think about that. Okay, any others that will fit with us? I thought I saw another Ike. Plant flag on Ike. Okay, we can do that on our way. We just need a little lander, so we could probably do this. Let's go ahead and accept it. Eve, Gilly, Jewel, Rapier engine. Okay, let's go ahead and accept this. We have plenty of fun, so if we fail, we're good. We have 5 years to accomplish it. So we'll go ahead and accept that. And that will be next episode. So we have all kinds of Duna missions to accomplish. Between them we will get probably, let's see, that's almost 500,000, 700, 900, about 1.3 million, so pretty darn good. Plus we'll collect a lot more science on Duna itself. Alright, that will be it for episode 11 of How to Contract in Kerbal Space Program version 0.24. My name is Jim. I want to thank you for joining me. Have a great day.